Running emergency trace program. Trace failed. Loading Overwatch program. Purging data. Resetting. Reset complete. Loading Archival AI. The Brotherhood is a regime built on oppression and cruelty, repression and damnation, superstition and the belief of the occult. It is a galactic perversion writhing invisibly with power from the Netheric realm. It is a crucible, for whom 1,000 souls die every day, to satisfy the laughter of a dying god, for whom blood is drunk and flesh eaten. Human blood and human flesh, the stuff of which the broken backs supporting the pillars of oppression and despotism are built on. It is the second millennium, and sliding from the darkness of the northwest expanse stands boldly the despoiled work of Anomalous the Arbiter, and the Brotherhood of Iron. The knowledge of the founding of the Brotherhood itself died upon the lips of historical scholars who perished millennia ago, and if any thought to assert such claims of how, they would surely be executed for heresy. While a potent military power during the early galactic period, it was continuously reduced in size during the Great Sector Wars and the failed Wars of Shadow and Iron, which saw the nation destroyed by the Enderium Empire and reduced to a single system state. However, even as the Enderium Navy closed in on the last remaining system of the Brotherhood, priests channeled the energies of the Nether Realm to open a gateway to the northern expanse in hopes of escape from the Empire. The colonists of the Brotherhood found themselves in an unexplored region of the galaxy in a sector named the Casus Nihilus. Optimistically referred to as Iron Secundus, the young colony quickly emulated the worst aspects of its predecessor. While the Brotherhood of the Western Expanse had been known to take great interest in the occult and occasionally prayed to the denizens of the Nether Realm, the corruption that the colony had been exposed to, through their journey took root, creating a depraved society. The Brotherhood of Iron today exists as an unremorseful, brutal society built on the backs of countless trillions of oppressed people. The society carries on only through the weight of its own suffering, ever expanding and ever declining. To think of it then as a nation with geopolitical goals and clear achievements is a fallacy. The worlds of the Brotherhood of Iron can only be described as miserable, with slavery and servitude being the main driver of economic production. While planet types in the Brotherhood vary between war worlds, fortress worlds, and worship worlds. The main type of planets are swarm worlds, where humans are grown in mass to help meet production and sacrificial quotas. Many of these humans live a sorrowful existence in a melancholy dredge of unending labor and servitude. The swarm worlds of the Brotherhood represent a truly revolting reflection of many of the galaxy's most productive industrial worlds. Instead of the use of high-tech machinery and automation, pure man-power is used. They are truly abhorrent, as uncontrolled industry creates serpents of smoke blotting out the sun, while forges of industry constantly burn, making these planets dark. Simultaneously freezing and boiling at the same time, industrial runoff creates black rivers that run with ill-smelling chemicals, with vast piles of buildings devoid of natural light, with the constant rattling and trembling of machinery as flesh and bone are broke monotonously to satisfy the masters. Life is simply a currency to be spent on the production of good for the priesthood. The war worlds and fortress worlds of the Brotherhood are equally as abhorrent, as the population of these worlds are forcefully inducted into the military system of the Brotherhood. They are then put through the rites of initiation. Those who fail are lobotomized and sent back to swarm worlds. For those who pass, an equally grim fate awaits them, as bones are ripped from flesh to be augmented with crude biocybernetics. Chemicals are then pumped into the bloodstream and limbs are removed to make space for inlaid blades and weapons. For smaller members, they are converted into thralls, an infantry force of completely expendable drones. Those who do well in the argumentation, whether of considerable strength or intelligence, are forced to duel until those who remain as victors are promoted to the captains. Life on these planets revolves around constant training, breeding, emotional and physical hardening. Many of these soldiers will endure a life of only pain and raw anger, as the cocktail of drugs running these poor individuals are almost uncontrollable. However, even above the misery of the swarm and fortress worlds are the worship worlds. While those who rule over them refer to them as a paradise, the truth is far from it. They are a galactic perversion in which billions are sacrificed to power the Soulforge, a piece of reverse-engineered archaeotech from the Firstborn. Lives are casually discarded in a grim mockery of the utilization of nether realm energies. Many of these people sacrificed are human workers whose bodies have rejected cybernetic augmentation. Much of the Brotherhood's technology relies on salvaged archaeotech. However, as many members of their society failed to utilize immaterial energy or void energy, another solution had to be found. Much of the remains of Firstborn technology in the Brotherhood relies on blood magic to function, as they had to find other ways to power it. The Brotherhood's domain is divided into 4 administrative zones known as sector fiefs. The fiefs of the Brotherhood span the northwestern expanse, with the only limits to their domain imposed by the constant competition between each other. The rulers of these territories are known as the 4 Horsemen and are Father's anomalous Chief General, Advisor, Administrator, and Priest. Each of these 4 leaders embody a different god from the nether realm and have become aspect warriors and avatars. Many of these leaders will launch crusades into western and eastern space to capture subjects for labor, breeding, or sacrifice, frequently allying with the demons and denizens of the nether realm. While the Brotherhood might seem disorganized, should a new father of the organization emerge and proclaim a new crusade of shadow and iron, they would represent a real threat to the galaxy. The military forces of the Brotherhood are as cruel and merciless as the nation as a whole and take vast swaths of prisoners, leaving behind only burning worlds in their wake. 3 times the Brotherhood launched crusades into the Enderium Empire and the galaxy as a whole, very nearly succeeding if not for the sacrifice of Vitallion, and rumor has it that they have begun a new build-up of forces. Across the northern expanse, populations are disappearing from worlds, relics have disappeared, and agents are sowing discourse in nations throughout the galaxy, creating a 5th column. Strange reports have been received by the Enderium Admiralty. If the Brotherhood means to strike, these actions surely point at a new crusade of shadow and iron.